I'm going to take Cleveland to cover 12 here. I still like the Patriots. I think this is a must-win for them. I'm going to take Carolina to cover. I like Atlanta to win. Yeah, I'm taking the Niners too, and it's strictly, I mean, I think San Francisco obviously I think has a better offense, but the defense, I think they're going to try and make a statement after last week. Yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers on this one. Yeah, I like Houston. Yeah, I'm taking the Rams to not only cover but win. But I'm taking Denver in this one. Yeah, I'm going to take Cincinnati to cover here. I'm going to take Washington also. Give me the Bears to cover. Bell Bears.
We plan to make history here this evening.
What's up, everybody? Week 5 of the NFL season, and as you saw going into this, my man over here, 11-2-1. Ccongratulations!
Oh, you smell like a winner.
And the two he lost, he actually predicted the winner. They just didn't cover. So, I mean, that was a hell of a week. And when he has a hell of a week, and we're on a little roll like that, somebody's getting paid. We hit 2 parlays. We hit I think it was a 5-team parlay, and there was a couple money lines, like a Packers and Texas money line, but it paid almost 18-1 on that. And then we played a progressive parlay that's where you get 8 teams, and then as long as I think, you know, three of them, you can lose up to 3 basically and still get paid. And we had a progressive parlay on that one, but I put that one together and had the stupid Chiefs on there, and it kind of screwed some things up, but we got a little money out of that too. So, I mean, it was a good week for us. Last week, I know I was sitting here probably whining a little bit, but that's all over. We're getting paid in the Escalade right now. And we're going to go ahead and get started. First up, our St. Louis Rams hosting the Arizona Cardinals, coming in here. When I saw this line, I was actually a little bit shocked. When I really thought this line was going to start out at about 3 in favor of Arizona. And I was like, that was going to be an automatic for me. I mean, I was going to go ahead and pick the Rams right away. But even at 1.5, I'm going to still take my St. Louis Rammies, and I'm not putting a little sack up anymore because we're respectable right now. 2-2. A lot of teams can't say that. But I'm not as scared of an undefeated team like the Cardinals coming in here. They have an offensive problem, I think, much like us. I think their defense is a little bit better. But we got a punter that can throw touchdown passes, so we're good. So I'm taking the Rams.
You know, the game worries me. For some reason, every time we play Arizona, it seems like they score a defensive touchdown. Or last year, Patrick Peterson, you know, killed us twice. But you look at both teams. St. Louis, 2 close games at home, easily could be 0-4. Arizona, outside the Philadelphia game, could easily be 1-3. Defensively, Arizona looks really good. Kevin Cobb's playing a lot better now. You can see the progression in the last game. But I'm taking the Rams at home.
Yeah, I think it was Skelton last year that came in and just torched us.
Yeah.
And it's just like, really, so no matter what, Arizona does thing. But this is not the same old Rams team. I mean, the last 2 years, you can say, oh, these guys live there, they're homers. No, go back and look at our things from last year. I think I went against them against the spread, 16 times. And the reason I did it was because they didn't cover the spread. And, this year, it's just a little bit different,
I was more of the homer last year.
He was.
But toward the end, I jumped off.
Oh, then next up, we have the Redskins hosting the Falcons. Go ahead and give me the Falcons. And it's not because of the Redskins' offense. I think they're going to score their points, but I really think the Falcons are just clicking on a lot of cylinders. And 3 points on the road. We saw what they did when they went to San Diego. I'm not too worried about this. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, taking the Falcons. Washington having the injuries on the defensive line really hurts them. If they had them, I really have to consider it, but I'm taking the Falcons in the way they're playing.
And next up, we have the Steelers hosting the Eagles. I think these are very similar teams in what to expect from them at this point. And that being is like, I'll be honest with you, I really don't know what to expect. But I'm actually going to take the Eagles to cover at 3.5. I look for the Steelers to win this one maybe by a field goal, and that's the only reason. I don't see the Eagles winning this game on the road, but keeping it close because I think they're pretty similar teams.
Yeah, I'm going to take Pittsburgh to cover. They're getting Harrison back, first game this year, getting Palomalo back. They've had a bye week. Mendenhall may play. I like them at home, come off a bye week. big game for them. I mean, they need to get back to a good start here. So I'm taking Pittsburgh to cover 3.5.
And next up we have the Colts hosting the Packers. The Packers still, they didn't cover the other night, even though that was one of the two that nobody got. But I look for them to go into this game and just really handle the Colts easily. Aaron Rodgers threw for 4 touchdowns last week. Look for more of the same. The Colts being without their head coach, I think, for a few weeks. Do they get an emotional lift? I just don't think they have the talent to just keep up with the Packers. Give me the Packers at 7.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Packers. They're starting to click a little bit. They really should be 3-1. We can talk about that again. But I can see Indy scoring 14, 17 points. But I see a double-digit loss here, so I'm taking Green Bay.
Yeah, if Greg Jennings could stay healthy, I really don't think the Packers would have much of a problem in this game. But as Aaron Rodgers shows,
even without him,
yeah, I was ready to say as Aaron Rodgers shows, he'll throw it to anybody.
Nelson, Jones, Cobb, Finley, I mean, they're fine. And
next up we have the Eli Manning and the Giants hosting the Cleveland Browns, who I don't know what they're doing this year. They do have some young talent, but in this game in New York, at 8.5 points, I'm going to go ahead and just take the Giants, lay the points. I just don't think the Browns are going to be able to keep up with them, especially with Bradshaw being back, even though I know he's not the best running back on the team.
Yeah, this is a little difficult one for me too, because you look at Cleveland, 1-point loss to Philly, 7-point loss at Cincy, 7-point loss at Baltimore. They're in games. You can see they're actually progressing and developing a little bit. But I like the Giants. I like their front four to put pressure on Whedon. I see him making a lot of mistakes this game and maybe regressing just a tad, but I'm going to take the Giants to cover.
Yeah, the Giants' defense to me seems like it's gotten better from the first game with Dallas, because it's amazing now that you look back, how did Dallas score points? But I think they're getting better, so I just don't think that one's going to be too much of a problem. Next up, we have the Bengals hosting the Dolphins. As I said last week, for some reason, just to me, the Dolphins don't look that bad to me. I know they were, on the bottom of everybody's list at the beginning of the season. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and take the Bengals. I think A.J. Green and Dalton are looking really good this year. On the road, I think it's going to be a little bit tougher, and even at 3.5 points, I don't look for it to be that close of a game. So give me the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals in this one too. I think that game last week with Miami, they really should have won that game. Devastating loss. Can they regroup? They can. Will they? I don't think they will. I'm going to take Cincinnati at home to cover.
Oh, and next up we have the Chiefs hosting the Ravens. What Chiefs team is going to show up? I don't know. I mean, that was ridiculous what happened last week. Kansas City fans, you should be wearing bags to the game right now. Give me the Ravens.
Some from last year if they want to borrow them.
Yeah, we got lots. I'm going to go ahead and take the Ravens at 6.5. Like it or not, the Ravens' offense is really good. I mean, that whole little thing with Flacco, is he an elite quarterback? It doesn't matter. The surrounding talent. Well, I shouldn't say that surrounding. Torrey Smith's, I think, a good receiver. He's not a great receiver. Bolton's been a steady receiver. Never really lit it up since he's been to Baltimore. But, with Ray Rice and all that, I really like their offense. And the Chiefs, I don't know what the hell's going on. And for that fact right there, I'm going to take the Ravens at 6.5 points.
Yeah, it's Kansas City Chiefs versus Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, I mean, maybe it was the Saints defense that week, and that alone is what got those points for. Well, that's why I'm starting Ryan Matthews.
I don't blame you.
No, I'm taking Baltimore here to cover 6.
And next up, we have the Carolina Panthers playing a good game against Atlanta last week, hosting the Seahawks. Screw the Seahawks. For some reason, I really have hated them for the last 2 weeks, and I'm glad we beat the crap out of you guys last time. Well, okay, we couldn't throw a touchdown against you. Well, our punter could, but I'm taking the Panthers in this one. The Panthers are a 3-point favorite. The Seahawks, I don't like them. I mean, and it's not. I mean, I don't mean personally I don't like them. I think what they've done so far to get their few wins is, was their quarterback playing his ass off. And other than that, Marshawn Lynch, I'm not scared of. And I know he's a good running back, but I'm just not scared of him. Give me the Panthers.
Yeah, I'll first say this. I personally don't like the Seahawks. Nothing,
Probably got to pick them.
It's just because it's it's one of our rivals, them in Arizona and Frisco. But I'm going to take Seattle here. Lynch really impressed me the way he ran the ball last week. I really thought Seattle should have used him more down the stretch, putting the ball in Wilson's hands. I really thought they could have won that game if they would kept feeding the ball to Lynch. but they didn't. Hopefully they learned from it. Defense for Seattle is really good.
I'll agree with that.
It's a really good defense.
They hustle. So
Carolina had a good game last week. Week before that, I don't think they played that well. I don't even remember what game it was now. I'm going to take Seattle, even though they don't play well on the road, at least from a win percentage. I'm going to take them to cover here.
And next up, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Bears. The Bears looked great against the Cowboys the other night, and I really think their defense is, people think they have a good defense, but I really think it's underrated. Go ahead and give me the Bears in this game. Shut down MJD, and I think they're good. And give me the Bears at 6.
Yeah, I'm taking Chicago too. It's more based on Jacksonville's offense. Without, if you can, like you said, if you can control MJD, Gabbard's still young. He's percentage-wise throwing better, but just there's not a lot of threat from the passing game for Jacksonville. I keep waiting for Chicago to stub their toes. It seems like whenever you think they've turned the corner, they do something to just make you go, okay, maybe they're not there yet. But I'm taking Chicago to cover here.
Yeah, with Cutler, actually with Bush and Forte now getting back, I mean, that really helps Cutler out in the long run because he's a head case. If you haven't watched the last couple games where he's pushing off Tice and bumping that lineman, which I wish he would have turned around and just decked the shit out of Cutler, to be honest with you, because, little bitches like that need to be punched every once in a while. Next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings. Gio's Minnesota Vikings, who are the top of their division. Hosting the Tennessee Titans. Congratulations, Vikings. You get another win this week, and you cover 5.5 points. Enough said. Their defense is going to just shut down Chris Johnson, which...
Defenses look really good.
Yeah. And
really good.
Chris Johnson is not. I think we could go play, just like last week when we raced Bradford and beat him, we could go play defensive line for the Minnesota Vikings this week and shut down Chris Johnson.
Well, he did have 140 yards against
that was in a blowout loss, so that he got some of that. Didn't he have like an 80-yard run or something like that? It was like late, 60-yard run or something like that. I didn't watch the game of basketball. I got red zone, but I know he had 140 yards last week, but they were like
give me Minnesota. I see the defensive line getting to Hasselbeck in this game.
And next up, we have the Patriots, who blew out the Bills last week, and they're 7-point favorite at home against the Broncos. I like the Patriots in this one. I think Tom Brady, after what I saw last week, maybe he's getting on the right track right now. I don't know, is there Aaron Hernandez playing this week? It's Wednesday, so I'm not sure.
I don't believe so. Don't believe so.
But I think being on the road, it's going to be a little bit tougher for the Broncos. Peyton looked really good last week, too, against who they play, the Raiders. And looked like the Peyton of old again. But I think being on the road in the Patriots' house, go ahead and give me the Patriots. 7 points. You might be pushing here.
I'm taking Denver. I like their offense. And you got Manning, Brady. I mean, it's what the last 6-7 years. It's what the game you look forward to is Indy and New England. Now it's Denver, New England. Denver's defense has been playing really well. They get Mayo back at linebacker after his 1-game suspension. I like them to keep this game close.
Yeah, 51.5.
Yeah, I'm taking New England to win, but I like Denver to cover here.
Yeah, you got 51.5 on the over and under. What are you doing? Just right off the top of your head.
Probably go over.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm going over too. Yeah. Next up, we have the 49ers hosting the Bills. The Bills did not look very good last week. The Niners went in and just destroyed the Jets. And I mean, they destroyed them. And 10-point favorite for the Niners. Go ahead and give me the Niners at home. I think that stumble up in Minnesota helps them in the long run, and they just play awesome from here on out. Give me the Niners.
Niners. Not even going to talk about it. Yeah. I'm taking San Francisco.
Their defense is awesome. I mean, we get to see a little bit more because we're a little bit focused on the NFC West. But next up, we have the New Orleans Saints, and I say that I laugh like that because I am a Saints fan. But
Southern Mississippi boy.
Yeah, they win this game, but they don't cover 3.5. Look for another high-scoring game. We got 54 on the over and under. Tons of points in this one. Go ahead and give me the Chargers to cover 3.5, but the Saints to eke it out with a field goal at the end.
Yeah, I'm going the exact same way. I'm taking Chargers to cover, Saints to get their first win. They did play better last week against Green Bay, and I'm like you. I circled the over on this. I would go over on this easily.
And next up, we have the Jets. hosting the Texans. The Texans look great this year. 9 points, improved defense, even without Mario Williams from leaving from last year. 9 points on the road. Give me the Texans. The Jets' offense has reverted back to what I thought they were when
Rich Kotite days.
Oh, good Lord. I mean, Sanchez, here I go again, but I know I bitched about him all last year. Sanchez is not that good. And unfortunately, Tebow behind him is not their answer either. And I think they're in trouble this week. 9 points, give me the Texans.
Yeah, I'm taking the Texans. Something inside me told me to lean toward the Jets a little bit. I don't know why. I guess it's just because they looked so bad last week. And they're a better team than that. But I look at the injuries. Holmes is out for the year now. I don't know if Dustin Keller's even back yet. I know he'd been injured. You got Revis out now. That's a shutdown one side of the field. One of your receivers. Just the injuries they've gone through. I got to take Houston to cover here. But something in my gut tells me maybe the Jets show up in this game, even though I don't think they'll win. But I'm taking Houston.
That's great. That's all we got this week. Like I said last week, we sit here and we joke around, and we don't try to be funny. It might be kind of hard not to laugh some of the shit we say. But 11-2-1 last week. Oh, and you say, oh, wait a minute, that's one shy. We didn't do the Detroit-Minnesota game because when we printed, we didn't forget. When we printed these out, there was no line for it, and I think that was because maybe they were seeing what was the deal with Stafford. So we didn't have a line for it, which is good because I think both of us would have had Detroit.
Yeah, we would have.
I think it came out Detroit. So, but you can only pick what we got in front of us, and that was 11-2-1 for him last week. I was above 500, but I did pick 3 upsets. Like I said, listen to us. We're not just pretty boys here. We got knowledge. All right, that's all we got. We'll see you guys next week. Go Rams, go Cardinals, and
Go Tigers.
Oh, the Go Tigers. And NHL, get your shit together. Let's get on the ice.
Damn right.
See you guys.
See ya.